Good morning, cadets. Hope all of you are fine. That was Shehnai for you. Today I'll take up the chapter Sound of Music. Today I'll be taking up the textbook. Evelyn Glennie listens to sound without hearing it. So before we read, God may have taken her hearing, but He has given her back something extraordinary. What we hear, she feels far more deeply than any of us. That is why she expresses music so beautifully. So, really wonderful that we human beings, we have all the five senses, but still, when compared to us, Evelyn Glennie can feel the music better than us, and she has proved it. So, we are going to read an account of a person who fought against physical disability and made her life a success story. Evelyn Glennie is a multi-percussionist who can play thousands of instruments to perfection. A most sought after musician internationally. So she has an international fame. Surprisingly, she achieved this status in spite of her disability as she was profoundly deep. But she learned to listen with her body instead of her ears. She feels the sound through her body. So rush hours crowd jostle for position on the underground train platform. So when the story begins, we see that we are on the train platform. A slight girl looking younger than her 17 years was nervous yet excited as she felt the vibration of approaching train. So this is Evelyn Glennie and she feels the vibration of the train. It was her first day at the prestigious Royal Academy of Music in London and daunting enough for any teenager fresh from a Scottish farm. But this aspiring musician faced a bigger challenge than most. She was profoundly deaf. So she's going to join the prestigious Royal Academy of Music in London. Evelyn Glennie's loss of hearing had been gradual, so she was not born deaf. Her mother remembers noticing something wrong when 8-year-old Evelyn was waiting to play the piano. They called her name and she did not move. So, when she was 8 years old and she was going to play the piano, announcement was made, her name was called out, and she did not move. At that time, her mother realized that she was deaf. They called her name and she did not move. I suddenly realized she hadn't heard, said Isabel Glennie. For quite a while, Evelyn managed to conceal her growing deafness from friends and teachers. But by the time she was 11, her marks had deteriorated and her headmistress urged her parents to take her to a So she managed some days, but by 11, she was not able to hear the lectures in the classroom. So her headmistress discouraged her and asked her parents to take her to a specialist. It was then discovered that hearing was severely impaired as a result of gradual nerve damage. So her nerves got damaged and then she got hearing aids and was sent to the school for deaf. Everything suddenly looked black. But Evelyn did not give up her passion for music. She decided that she is going to lead a normal life. She noticed a girl once playing a xylophone and decided she wants to play it. Most of the teachers discouraged her, and here comes her motivator, that is percussionist Ron Forbes, who understood that she has lot of potential. So, what did he tell her? Don't listen through your ears. Try to sense it some other way. Suddenly, she realized she could feel the higher drum from the waist and the lower drum from the waist down. So, Ron Forbes was a great motivator and a great teacher. So, he repeated the exercise with her, and then she could feel music through different parts of the body. I had learned to open my mind and body to sounds and vibrations, she said, and after that, she had no looking back. She toured to United Kingdom with youth orchestra when she was 17. She decided to make music her life. Then she auditioned for Royal Academy of Music and scored the highest mark. At the end of 3 years course, she had captured most of the top awards. And for all this, Evelyn won't accept any hint of heroic achievement. What does she say? If you work hard and know where you are going, you will get there. So, hard work is the key to success, she says. It is intriguing to watch Evelyn function so effortlessly without hearing. So her performance will never make the audience feel that she is deaf. She will perform effortlessly. In our 2 hour discussion, she never missed a word. Men with bushy beards give me trouble, she laughed. So, when people who have thick beards, their lips will not be visible to her. So she finds difficult to talk to men who have bushy beards and she laughs. Here is Evelyn Glennie. It is not just watching the lips, it is the whole face, especially the eyes. She speaks flawlessly with a Scottish little. My speech is clear because I could hear till I was 11, but doesn't explain how she managed to learn French and master basic Japanese also she learned. And about music, what does she say? It pours through every part of my body. It tingles in the skin, my cheekbones, even my hair. So she made music her passion. On a wooden platform, she removes her shoes so that the vibration passes through her bare feet up her legs. Not surprisingly, Evelyn delights her audiences. She confesses that she is workaholic. She loves to work. I just got to work often harder than classical musician, but the rewards are enormous. And she is a shining inspiration for deaf children. So she would give free concerts in prisons, hospitals, and to young budding musicians so that she can become an inspiration to everybody. Evelyn Glennie has already accomplished more than most people twice her age. She has brought percussion to the front of the orchestra and demonstrated that it can be very moving. She has given inspiration to those who are handicapped, people who look to her and say, if she can do it, I can. And not the least, she has given enormous pleasures to millions. So, definitely, she is a great motivation. Part 2, the Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. Think of the Shehnai, and the first thing you probably imagine is a wedding or a similar occasion or function. The next would be Ustad Bismillah Khan, the Shehnai maestro, playing this instrument. So the background of Shehnai starts. Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of musical instrument called pungi because it was producing unpleasant sound. Later on, a barber of a family of professional musicians took up the challenge of improving the pungi, and he chose a pipe with natural hollow stem that was longer and broader and made 7 holes on the body of the pipe. He played it and melodious sounds were produced. This chapter throws light on the origin of Shehnai and the life of all-time great Shehnai maestro Bismillah Khan, the winner of Bharat Ratna, the highest civilian award of India, for his dedication to music and his love for India. So the barber improved the pungi. He played the instrument before the royalty and everybody was impressed. As the story goes, it was first played in Shah's chamber and was played by a nai, that is barber. So the instrument was known as Shehnai. The sound of Shehnai began to be considered as auspicious. For this reason, it was played in temples and especially in North Indian weddings. In the past, Shehnai was a part of Naubat or traditional ensemble of 9 instruments found at royal courts. And the credit of bringing the instrument onto the classical stage goes to Bismillah Khan. So Bismillah Khan, he belongs to Banaras Gharana. He was born in 1916 in Dhumrao in Bihar. From 5 years of age, he used to visit Bihariji temple and sing Bhojpuri chaityas. For his melodious singing, he would receive a laddu from Bhojpuri king. At the age of 6, he moved to Banaras. There, under the guidance and training of his maternal uncle Ali Baks, he started picking up Shehnai. He used to spend most of the time practicing on the banks of river Ganga. The theme of his music were deeply affected by the sound of flowing water of Ganga. So, as a young boy, Bismillah took to music at the age of 3 when his mother took him to his maternal uncle's house in Banaras, that is Varanasi. Bismillah Khan was fascinated watching his uncles practice the Shehnai. When India gained independence on 15th August 1947, Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to greet whole nation with his Shehnai. So his Shehnai declared the independence of India. He poured his heart into Rag Kafi from Red Fort to an audience which included Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who later gave his famous Tryst with Destiny speech. So he has given many memorable performances both in India and abroad. Film director Vijay Bhatt was so impressed after hearing Bismillah play at the festival that he named a film after the instrument called Goonj Uthi Shehnai. The film was hit and one of Bismillah Khan's composition Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya. It was a chart buster song. Despite this huge success, Bismillah Khan did not like the glamour of film world. It was a Gunj Uthi Shehnai was a success. But what did he say? I just cannot come to terms with artificiality and glamour of the film world. Awards and recognitions came thick and fast. Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to be invited to perform at the prestigious Lincoln Central Hall in the United States of America. National awards like Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan, and Bharat Ratna. He has received all of them. In 2001, Bismillah Khan was awarded India's highest civilian award, Bharat Ratna. And what does he say? All I would like to say is teach your children music. This is Hindustan's richest tradition. Even the West is now coming to learn our music. In spite of having traveled all over the world, Bismillah Khan is fondly called exceedingly fond of Banaras, Dhumrao, and they remain for him the most wonderful town in the world. And a student once wanted him to head the Shehnai school in USA, and the student promised to recreate the atmosphere of Banaras. He told that I will create an atmosphere of Banaras here. But what did Bismillah Khan say? If he would be able to transport river Ganga, he says, I want river Ganga. Can you bring river Ganga to USA? Later he is remembered to have said, that is why whenever I am in a foreign country, I keep yearning to see Hindustan. While in Mumbai, I think of only Banaras and Holy Ganga. While in Banaras, I miss the unique mutt of Dhumrao. So, Bismillah Khan was very fond of Banaras and Ganga. Shekhar Gupta once asked Bismillah Khan, when partition happened, didn't you and your family think of moving to Pakistan? What was the reply of Bismillah Khan? God forbid me leave Banaras? Never. I went to Pakistan once. I crossed the border just to say I have been to Pakistan. I was there for an hour. I said namaskar to Pakistanis, salam alaikum to Indians. I had a good laugh. So, Ustad Bismillah Khan's life is a perfect example of the rich cultural heritage of India, one that effortlessly accepts that a Muslim like him can very naturally play Shehnai every morning at Kashi's famous temple of Shiva Vishwanath temple. So Ustad Bismillah Khan passed away on 21st August 2006 at the age of 90 after a prolonged illness. He was given a state funeral and Government of India declared one day of national mourning. So such was the patriotism of Ustad Bismillah Khan. Thank you. Have a nice day.